guys, Unclejona here, back with a beer review. And yeah, after yesterday, I thought I'd do something a bit more kind of mellow. So I'm going to drink one of the beers that I got um, from Left Handed Giant. I don't know if you can see that. There we go, Left Handed Giant Brewing. And this one is their Living Labyrinth, which is a 6.5% hazy IPA. And yeah, there's a weird sort of, it looks a bit like Tetris, but it's really crazy, the artwork on here. I'm actually liking it. I'm thinking it's cool. And yeah, we have a little bit of a kind of thing on here. Basically, this is all about Nectaron, apparently. A blend of Idaho 7, Amarillo, Simcoe, and Nectaron combined to produce a character of passion fruit, melon, and peach, punctuated with black tea and pine. A cold edition of Citra, Incognito, and Cryo. I'm assuming that means Citra Cryo. Lend undercurrents of familiar soft citrus, tropically spicy, ripey, and piney. We've got oats and wheat in this bad boy too. Wow, this is a bit of an epic. And this is one of the beers that I got after I was doing my beer judging the other day. And I believe this was about £5. I know, a can for that much. You don't usually spend that, and you're right, I don't usually, but when in Rome, that's what I was saying. But I think these are going to be really good. Now, it's quite squidgy as well, so that is always a good sign. And having a 6.5%er in a reasonably big, almost a pint can. Come on, that's what I say. Right, let's get this bad boy into the glassy. So hazy, we're definitely going to have a bit of haze in there. Are we going to have some head? I guess we're going to have a little bit. Let's go for a little bit of a head. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Almost came over the top, but not quite, which is fantastic. So there's the beer there, Living Labyrinth. Let me move that out a little bit, like something like that, and then put my cheeky face in the middle. And hopefully that works out quite well. Wow. So the aromas on this bad boy are great. We're getting all that kind of tropical stuff. So papaya, mango. There is the melon, but there is that citra thing going on. The green, I call it greenery most of the time, but it's that sort of grassy thing going on there. Bit herbal, that kind of thing. And obviously, look at that. I mean, it's not thick like a cloud, but it's definitely hazy. I would say that's bordering on cloudy. That is absolutely nuts. Let's have a look at the head there. You can see the carbonation's reasonably good. I don't know if you can quite see, but it's forming. Well, look at that head. It's kind of going a little bit, but that's going to hang around for the whole point. There we go. Carbonation. There we go. I guess that's a medium carbonation, but I think it's going to cause me to burp later on. Dear viewer, if this is your first time to the channel, think about subscribing, all that kind of jazz. And if nothing else, leave a comment down below. Chin chin, bottoms up. Oh, wow. So quite a bit more, yeah, carbonation is definitely there, but quite a bit more bitterness than I thought. Because this is a hazy beer, so I was thinking this is going to be new style, but there is quite a bitter kick to it, which is good. Then we get that kind of, they call it Nectaron, um, but it's a kind of, yeah, it's that kind of orangey, juicy, citrusy thing going on there. That's what we get predominantly up front. Then I'd say the tropical fruits and the pine, but they're definitely playing second fiddle to that kind of juicy kind of fruit thing up front. Really crisp as well. There is a bit of creaminess there too because of the wheat and the oats there. Really, really nice beer. But yeah, I'm surprised. The reason I got this because Nectaron, it's been around for a couple of years, but it's finding its way into readily accessible beers, and it's one of those hops that's really like up and coming. So it's in these kind of modern styles. I pulled a thing about here. It's it's related to the New Zealand Waima, which again, if you're not used to the New Zealand hops, the new wave of hops was roughly about 10 years ago ish, maybe just under. And then obviously this has developed into things like the Nectaron hop, which is really, really cool. Let's go dive in and get some more. Yeah, it's really interesting. It is zesty, but not in a grapefruit way. This is slightly different to those kind of grapefruity tropical hops. But yeah, fantastic. What else have we got in here? Amarillo. Okay, so Amarillo will help towards the orangey kind of thing, but I don't think that's where the main orange or citrus thing is. Definitely coming from the Nectaron, um, which is really nice. Whoa. I'm wondering if it's going to say. Let me hold this up to you guys again. Is it going to say who did the artwork on the can? Because I think that's quite funny. Bristol. There we go. That's where that beer is from. It doesn't. I don't think it says, which is a shame because this is like quite cartoony, quite cool. And I always like to give a shout out to the artwork people. I wonder if he signed it in there somewhere. No, it doesn't look like it, which is a shame. But shout out to you guys at Left-Handed Giant, um, which is where I was over the weekend. Absolutely fantastic. Look, we got some nice lacing going on there. I try not to swirl the glass because that's what I was tempted to do. But when you're getting some good lacing on a glass, it's quite cool. Not such a thing as a line, but if we go on Foam Watch, what have we got? Seeing lots of weird. Oh, look, there's some sort of bird, like an emu or something. Um, yeah, really, really interesting beer. I'm not going to dwell too much on ceremony because yesterday's video was half an hour long. I know it was an epic. Hopefully you liked it. If you haven't seen yesterday's video, please watch it because it was delving into the kind of more beer judging side of what I've been doing lately. And half an hour for drinking a beer and judging it properly. Yeah, it's not too long, to be honest. When you're getting through sort of 30 or 20 to 30 beers, it's going to take a long time. But if you're doing it in that depth, you really do pick apart the beer. Like this one. Cheers. Oh. And although this is not superbly strong, 6.5 is not bad at all. And you can definitely feel a little bit of the heat and the hops there, especially the hops oils and things like the alpha acid and beta acids and things like that, are definitely taking the edge off that kind of alcohol. So you get the heat on your exhaled breath. So if you do feel a little bit, but it's quite hidden well by the hop oils, which is always nice. Um, I don't know if I could session this beer, but I could definitely have a few because it's although it's got that fruity thing, it is still reasonably light, so it's not kind of sickly sweet, as it were. Um, yeah, really nice beer. Is it the best one of this style that I've had? I've had some very similar beers to this in the local pub, which is about a mile that way. Um, you've heard of it. It's the Royston down in Broadstairs. So shout out to Andy and the boys down there, and the girls too. Um, and I've had a Nectaron beer. I think it was done by Kent Brewery. Not sure. Don't think it was someone like Time and Tide, although it might have been. I think it was Kent Brewery, and it was really cool. Bit thicker than this one. This has got quite a mild. Um, it's not light, but it's sort of an average kind of thickness. But I guess that goes with the cloudiness too. If that was a lot more or a little bit more cloudy, it would definitely be a thicker kind of beer. And look, we've actually got a nice line there now. Nice thick line, which is cool. But alas, nothing really above that. There's some floating weird bits, but yeah, that's it. Oh, look at that running down the backside of the glass, which I really, really like to see. It's a good sign. Guys, cheers and beers. That was the first beer from Left-Handed Giant Brewing. It's the Living Labyrinth beer, hazy IPA at 6.5%. And these boys, Left-Handed Giant Brewing. And I even like the can, the art there is. The more you look at it, the more sort of crazy it becomes. Very, very strange. But yes, this is a good one. You can get it from their website if you want to, or I think you can buy one of those bundle deals. I think it's Brewster or someone like that. You can buy a bundle deal. Look at it on the internet. You'll find them. They're reasonably easy to find. And if you do buy some, tell them that Uncle Jonah sent you. I'll be back for another beer review real soon. And until then, take care, guys.